Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something that pretty much affects all of us every single day. Whether you're at a desk job or just, scrolling on your phone or watching TV screens, and their impact on our eyes. It's something we all experience, but maybe don't fully get what's going on.
That's exactly right. And this term people use, digital eye strain. It's a real thing. More than just feeling a bit tired. We're talking a whole collection of symptoms, headaches, vision going blurry, maybe that annoying gritty feeling like sand in your eyes. But it doesn't stop there. It can actually mess with your posture, the way you sit or stand, and yeah, even your sleep. For some people, it can even lead to something called ocular surface disease. Basically, your eyes just stop lubricating themselves properly.
Okay, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is that it's not purely about the number of hours you spend looking at a screen. It's more about how we're actually using them, the way we interact. That seems to be key for our eye health. We want to explore that, the why behind it all.
Precisely. So our goal today, our mission, if you like, is to give you some practical, really actionable ways to look after your eyes. Even if cutting down screen time just isn't realistic for you, maybe because of work or, life, there are still things you can absolutely do.
Right. Okay, let's jump into some immediate habits. First up, the classic advice, maybe underestimated sometimes, the 20-20-20 rule. So the idea is every 20 minutes, look at something about 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. We've probably all heard it, but what's actually happening in the eye? Why does just looking away help so much?
Okay, yeah, it's about a tiny muscle inside your eye called the ciliary muscle. When you're staring at something close like your phone or computer screen, this muscle has to keep contracting. It stays tight. Think of it like holding a weight out constantly. It gets stuck in what doctors call an accommodation spasm, so the 20-20-20 rule. It forces that muscle to relax for a moment. It's a micro break, not just mentally zoning out. It's a genuine physical rest for the focusing mechanism inside your eye.
Huh. Okay, a physical rest. Makes sense. And another seemingly simple thing, blinking. I read studies showing our blink rate can seriously drop, like by half or even more, when we're really zoned in on a screen. Why do we stop blinking? And what's the direct result of that?
Well, it seems our blink reflex gets sort of suppressed when we concentrate hard. It might be an old evolutionary thing, from when we needed an intense focus, like standing for danger or hunting. But now, with screens, it means the tear film on your eye isn't getting spread around enough. That tear layer protects and lubricates. When it evaporates because you're not blinking, you get dryness, irritation. And that increases the risk for things like that ocular surface disease we mentioned. So consciously trying to blink more, like making it a little exercise or using preservative-free artificial tears, that becomes really important for keeping things moist.
Right, conscious blinking. Got it. Okay, so moving beyond just what we do, what about our setup, the screen environment itself? A basic starting point seems to be adjusting the screen brightness and contrast so it roughly matches the light in the room. Sounds simple, but why is that mismatch, that immediate discomfort, such a big deal?
Yeah, it forces your eyes to constantly readjust. If the screen is way brighter than the room or much dimmer, your pupils are dilating and constricting, the iris is working overtime. Imagine walking between a really dark room and bright sunshine, back and forth, back and forth. It's tiring. And building on that, think about using night mode or blue light filters on your devices, especially later in the day, heading into the evening. This isn't just about feeling a bit more comfortable visually. It's actually about helping your body's internal clock, your natural rhythms.
Okay, blue light. We hear so much about it. Lots of people use blue light glasses now. What's the actual science there? Why limit blue light, especially at night? Are the glasses like a magic fix, or is it more complicated?
So blue light, specifically the wavelengths around 450 to 495 nanometers, is particularly good at telling your brain to stop making melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that basically says, hey, it's time to wind down for sleep. Run. There are specific cells in your retina containing melanopsin that are super sensitive to this blue light. They send signals straight to the part of your brain that controls your body clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. So lots of blue light late at night effectively tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Blue light filtering glasses can definitely help reduce that signal, and they also cut down glare, which is good. But here's the nuance people often miss. It's not only the blue light, it's also the mental stimulation. Reading intense news, scrolling social media, playing an engaging game that keeps your brain buzzing. So the filters help the light issue, yes, but actually winding down mentally before bed is just as, if not more, critical.
Ah, I see. So it's a two-part problem, the light and the brain activity. Makes sense. Okay, let's talk physical setup again. Ergonomics. How crucial is that for eye comfort? You hear about posture, but the eyes.
Hmm.
I personally found getting a laptop stand and a separate keyboard was like a total game changer. Not just for my neck, but I felt it in my eyes too.
Oh, absolutely. It's huge. The ideal setup is having the screen about an arm's length away, and the top of the screen should be just slightly below your eye level. This stops you from tilting your head back, which strains your neck, or craning forward and down, which makes you squint and strains your eyes. Your experience with the stand is a perfect example. It gets the screen height right. And the external keyboard means you can keep your arms relaxed and sit back properly, not hunched over trying to type on the laptop itself. It makes the whole situation much more comfortable and sustainable for your body and your vision.
Yeah, sustainable is the word. Yeah. Okay, shifting gears a bit to a more holistic view, let's talk about professional eye care. I think a lot of us only schedule an eye exam when we notice, hey, things are getting blurry. What's the real value in getting regular checkups, even if your vision seems okay?
Regular exams are really key for being proactive. It's not just about checking if you need glasses or a new prescription. An optometrist can spot the very early signs of digital eye strain, they can check the health of your eye surface, look for dryness, and they can even detect serious conditions, things like glaucoma or cataracts, sometimes long before you'd notice any symptoms yourself. Plus, if you wear contact lenses, it's super important to talk to them about screen use. Some newer types of lenses are actually designed to hold moisture better, specifically for people who spend long hours on computers. They can make a big difference in comfort.
Right, lens technology matters too. Okay, you mentioned sleep earlier, and I want to circle back to that because it feels really important. Using screens right before bed, it's not just adding to eye strain during the day, it's actively messing with our sleep, isn't it? Can you unpack that connection a bit more?
Definitely. We talked about the main mechanism, the blue light suppressing melatonin. But like we touched on, it's also the cognitive side of things, the arousal. You're feeding your brain, stimulating stuff news, social media arguments, work emails, whatever. You're keeping it switched on when it should be powering down. So a really practical tip isn't just filter the blue light, it's maybe creating a digital curfew, actually putting the phone away maybe in another room, or at least switching to something non-screen like reading a physical book, or maybe listening to something relaxing for, say, an hour before you plan to sleep. That can make a huge difference, both for how tired your eyes feel and the quality of your sleep.
A digital curfew. I like that framing. And that leads nicely into something else, natural light. If you're stuck inside staring at a screen all day, just stepping outside, even for 15 minutes, can feel amazing. How does getting some natural light actually help our eyes and, well, us?
Natural light is fundamentally different from screen light. It contains the full spectrum of wavelengths that our eyes and brains evolved with. Screens emit a much narrower band, so natural light is much better at helping reset that internal body clock, your circadian rhythm, more effectively than any filter can manage. And also, when you're outside, your eyes naturally have to adjust focus to different distances. You look at a tree far away, then a flower up close, then the clouds. It's like exercise for those ciliary muscles we talked about. It lets them relax and work through their whole range. It's like taking your eyeballs for a walk, a really refreshing reset.
Uh-huh. Taking your eyeballs for a walk. That's a great image. Okay, let's get into some maybe more advanced tips for really boosting comfort. I know I've been guilty of this, squinting at tiny text on a website or dealing with really low contrast. You don't have to just put up with that, right? Zooming in, adjusting settings, simple stuff we forget.
Absolutely. Don't just suffer. Use the tools your device gives you. If the font's too small, just zoom in. Control plus or pinch to zoom. If the contrast is bad, see if there are accessibility settings you can tweak. It seriously reduces the strain on your eyes. And kind of related to that, if you do a lot of long-form reading on a screen, really consider an e-reader with an e-ink display, like a Kindle Paperwhite or similar. Unlike your phone or tablet screen, which shines light out at you, e-ink is reflective. It uses ambient light, like real paper. That makes a massive difference in eye strain compared to staring at a bright backlit screen for hours on end.
That's a really important distinction, the reflective versus emissive light. Good tip. Okay, finally, what about eye exercises for relaxation? I admit I was a bit skeptical, but sometimes doing that palming thing, rubbing your hands together to warm them up, closing your eyes, and just gently resting your palms over them, it actually feels really good after staring at a screen. What's going on there?
Yeah, palming is a nice one. Look, these exercises aren't going to, cure nearsightedness or anything, but things like palming offer a simple, passive way to relax the muscles around your eyes. The warmth from your hands might help increase blood flow a little, and the total darkness gives your photoreceptors, your whole visual system, a complete break from stimulation. It lets everything just kind of rest and recover for a minute. It's quick, it's easy, and yeah, it can be surprisingly soothing. A little mini recharge for tired eyes.
Yeah.
Cheap spa vibes, maybe.
Cheap spa vibes. I like it. Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for everyone listening as they, live their screen-filled lives? It seems like the core message is be proactive. Take those breaks. Remember to blink, tweak your screen settings in your workspace, get your eyes checked regularly, and really respect that connection between screens and sleep.
Exactly. And if you think about the bigger picture, all these preventative steps, understanding why they work, it's always easier than trying to fix problems after they've started. Even just making a couple of these small, mindful changes in your daily routine based on what we've talked about can genuinely lead to happier, less strained eyes. And that might even boost your focus and productivity overall, better well-being all around.
So here's a thought to leave you with. As you go about your day today or tomorrow, really think about your own screen habits, maybe with some of these insights in mind. Could you pick just one thing we discussed, just one tip that resonated, whether it's the 20-20-20 rule, blinking more consciously, adjusting your screen height, putting the phone away earlier? Pick one small conscious step to try and consider how that single change, that little bit of protections for your eyes, might actually ripple outwards and affect your energy, your focus, maybe even your whole sense of well-being in this world where, let's face it, screens aren't going away.